Well, hello, we meet again. I just wanted to, I had my videos up from our trip actually back in the fall. Today is July 4th. Happy 250th, everybody. It's been forever, and I needed to finish up that series, I guess you could say, our trip. In the last videos, I think we showed that we decided we needed to get home because it was going to get cold, and we needed to cover Gail's orchids up. We cut our vacation 2 weeks short, but I built Gail a big orchid house, and it's open during the summertime, and she's got quite a few orchids in it. And the week before, it was down in, I don't know, upper 40s or right close to 50. So some friends we had watching the house moved most of them in the garage. I have carts that we can hang them on like clothes racks, and they could bring them into the garage. I don't know if you can hear, it's raining pretty good out there now. But that worked for about a week until we seen that it was going to get into the low 40s, upper 30s, and the garage would have been too cold. They need to be about 50. So that's why we headed home. But on the way home, we went through, it was 3 days of at least 10-hour days, and I am not used to that at all. But, it is what it is, and we did come back through and ended up hitting one more park, which was Shenandoah. We didn't go through all of it. Actually, the truck camper was too tall. I couldn't get, there's a bridge in the middle somewhere, so there was an exit off of that, so I had to kind of get off of that, and we headed back home. We went all down through Carolina, and actually we were planning on stopping to see a really good friend of mine in Charlotte, who's really not doing so good, but we wasn't able to make it. So we did get home on that late Friday night, and Saturday and Sunday I spent putting the plastic over the greenhouse, and I've got a couple heaters that we got ready, and Monday it got cold, so we had to be back, and it stayed cold all year. This is one of the coldest years since we've been in Central Florida up here. It's been 4 years now. It was cold a long time for our standards. Down in the teens is pretty cold, but after we was home about 3 weeks or so, what life's just going on, and Gail happened to get sick. She got the flu, and Gail's one of them kind of people that don't believe in seeing the doctor, because her thought was that you go to a doctor, they're going to find something wrong. Sometimes that's a good thing though. But anyway, she wrestled with that for a while. She had it for about a week or so, and she thought she was getting better. She's out in the yard doing stuff, and feeling. And then one night she couldn't, in bed, she couldn't lay down because she had a harder time breathing. So she started sleeping in a recliner. The first night in the morning, I told her, Gail, you've got pneumonia. You need to go have this checked. Yeah, I'll be okay. Well, 3 nights later, 3 or 4, I ended up calling the paramedics to come get her. She absolutely could not breathe, could not get any air. When they got there, she was in full-blown AFib, heart rate at 170 plus. The paramedics couldn't do nothing with it. They transported her as quick as they could get to the hospital. Gail was in bad shape. To the point that she was in the ER for a full 24 hours with 4 doctors around her the whole time. Kidneys shut down. She was dehydrated really bad. lungs were full of fluid. There was fluid around her heart. I mean, she was in bad shape, almost to the equivalent of what you just seen. Not what, a couple weeks ago, Kyle Busch died of pretty much the same thing. I mean, he was spitting up blood, but she wasn't doing that, but the same thing. Gail spent 7 days in intensive care with every machine in the world hooked to her. She started improving some. They moved her to a different room, still in ICU, but not as guarded, I guess you could say. And then she was really wanting to get home, so they let her go on Christmas Eve, which I was shocked because she wasn't still doing very well. So for the rest of that month, which was, another week or so, and literally all the month of January, almost every day I was taking her to doctor's appointments. She's slowly getting better, slowly the lungs cleared out, but the AFib actually keeps coming back. They've tested and retested and done all kinds of stuff. For absolutely no rhyme, no reason, it'll just jump to 150. Not sure why. They're still trying to fool with that. So in the midst of all this, it was about, mid of February. I have, since I had stents put in almost 16 years ago, 16 years ago now, every 6 months I go for blood work and just a checkup, which for 16 years it's been the same old thing. The only one thing that ever shows up that's not good is, if you can believe this, my sodium levels are always low, way low. It's funny to hear a doctor tell a heart patient you need salt. But anyway, while doing all this, blood work was fine except for the sodium. And doing the last part of the physical, he's just checking out like normal, and he got to my neck. Lo and behold, there's a lump in my neck on my right side. Now, I could feel it now, but I couldn't feel it then, shaving and stuff. I had no idea, and he really had to feel for it. So he ended up sending me for PET scans, CT scans, and to an ENT doctor in Ocala. And, but every time you go somewhere, it takes a week to get an appointment or more and get in. And so it worked out to where I went to this ENT. He ended up, first thing was, he stuck 7 needles in that lump. 1 was to numb it, supposedly, and 6 more for biopsies. I went back 2 weeks later, and he kind of walked in the room kind of with his head down, and it didn't show anything. Wait, what do you mean it didn't show nothing? Well, we're not sure. So his plan then was to cut my neck open, take the lymph node out, so that way they can get a better biopsy of it. Which I thought was really, that's pretty drastic. He said, I'll have my staff. He said at first he said he wanted to do it as soon as possible, which, I don't know, this was about a week later, was the 2nd of, I don't know if it was April, I think it was, or at worst the 9th, a week apart, but he wanted it on the 2nd. He said, my staff will get a hold of you, we'll set it up, and we'll call you. Okay, so I go home and tell Gail, and I don't know, this sounds kind of drastic. We don't know what it is yet, but so I'm waiting and waiting. After 5 days, I never heard nothing. And I don't know if you can hear that rain. But anyway, I tried calling a couple times. But and I don't know what these people are thinking. When you call, you get some idiot in India that you can't even speak to. So I said, screw it. I drove 30 miles down in Ocala, and I want to know what's going on. Oh, well, the person you need to talk to ain't here right now. I'll have them get a hold of you right as soon as they get back today. Okay. Didn't hear nothing back on that Tuesday. Wednesday morning, this girl calls me and says, I'm calling you because I got a message to call you. Yeah, what about the surgery? Well, all this just kind of got dumped in my lap. The girl that was taking care of this ain't here no more, and I don't know what's going on. And I kind of thought, really? I'm supposed to have surgery tomorrow and nobody knows what's going on? So that was on a Wednesday. I called my primary and says, you know, can I come in and see you? And I explained what went on. And he was pissed, really. So he said, let me check around and let me do something first. So what he ended up doing was sending all my files to the University of Florida. Shands is one of the most renowned hospitals, teaching hospital around. And I didn't hear nothing Wednesday, didn't hear nothing Thursday. Friday, we started calling around like we need to get something done. I called a couple of places. One, the big cancer institute is called Moffitt. It's in Tampa. There's a few others, Mayo, there's a few others. But when we set up an appointment, right after that I get a text from University of Florida, call us now. So I did. That was on a Friday afternoon. They scheduled me to come in the next Tuesday. Went and seen the ENT doctor there. And the guy, I'm telling you, was just awesome. The whole staff bent over backwards. I mean, just, you couldn't ask for any better. And I'm thinking, man, this is awesome. So, ends up to where he says, no, something with the right tonsil. He's scheduled for surgery for the very next day. I went in for that. Went into pre-op. I mean, the staff, everybody, everybody coming. There must have been a dozen people come in that room. I'm so-and-so. This is what I'll be doing. Do you have any questions? How about, anything? And so when they took me to the operating room, they were all in there running around like all over the place. And the doctor said, whoa, everybody's right here now. Everybody stood around the table, and he looked at everyone. You know what you're doing. You got this already. And every one of them. I mean, you couldn't ask for no better. He made sure everybody knew what they were doing. A minute later, I was out. Hour or two later, I woke up in post. Went home that night. Wasn't too bad. I mean, sure it's sore. They took my right tonsil out. They took a piece of the base of my tongue for a biopsy. And he also stuck more needles in my neck. Well, I had an appointment to go back in a week. Well, I have to tell you that probably about the third day to about the fifth, sixth day, the pain was just immense. Unbelievable amount of pain. So when I went back in on that a week later, they gave me a prescription for a mouthwash. It's lidocaine, and it numbs your whole mouth. I mean, I couldn't take any drug. I couldn't swallow. I couldn't do nothing. So at least that numbed my mouth some. But we did find out the lump was not lymphoma, which we thought. It's something called HPV. It's a virus, but this is a cancer form of it. It affects your throat. Well, there's a bunch of variations of it. It's usually a sexually transmitted virus, something like warts or a lot of different stuff. But women get, when they get this, usually it's cervical cancer. For men, it's always in the neck. So, yeah, that was, I mean, they said if anything that was the best you can get because it has a really good cure rate. Well, yeah, a good cancer, right? But, so anyway, they give me the pathology report, you know, we went home. The first thing you do, I don't have my phone here, but you pull out your supercomputer out of your pocket and you start looking. I never heard of this before. Well, it turns out that, I know when I was a kid, my mom had cervical cancer back in the late 60s. She got it again in the early 80s and she swore she would never go through that again. That was horrendous, the radiation, chemo, and she ended up refusing treatment and she kind of just withered and died. About 10 years ago, my little sister got it, same thing. But they treated her, complete hysterectomy. They, radiation, but she didn't have no chemo. 10 years ago, and she's still having a lot of problems because of the radiation. But I'm thinking it's women thing, but it's not. So they're thinking more along the lines like this may have been hereditary. You can't prove it. With women, when they get it, that usually shows pretty early with cervical cancer, late 30s, 40, early 40s. With men, it could stay in your system for decades, sometimes never show up. Usually when it does, it's usually around 50 years old, somewhere in there. Me being 67, I'm up at the way at the top of the echelon as far as age group. So, yeah, I do nothing but research on this, and it's not good. Some absolute horror stories. But anyway, so I'm going through that now. I'm in my second week of treatment. Well, I finished my second week of treatment. I'm going to start another series of videos. It'll be on this channel, but it'll be strictly talking about my journey through this. But anyway, let me get back to this. I mean, this is long, but Gail's still having some problems. I'm worried about her because I know it's going to get really bad for me. And I don't need her having a stroke in the middle of this. So yeah, I'm hoping we can, my sister's going to be over for a while. She can come anytime I want. Got some friends that'll come. And just anything, just to give Gail a break. Because I know I'm going to be in bad shape. So anyway, this has gone on long enough. I just wanted to fill you in. I'm going to post some, and I'll be some videos after this of Shenandoah. And I mean, there isn't a lot, just on the trip home maybe, and there isn't a lot. But I just, some of the numbers, we were gone for 2 months. We planned on 2.5, but it happens. We put on about 6,000 miles on the truck. The best I can figure, we burned, I don't know, I missed a couple of the gas stops, I know that. So somewhere around $2,500 worth of fuel. The truck did great. Camper did great. We had no problems with nothing. But, you know, right now at this point in time, we were supposed to be touring Alaska all summer. You know, what do you do? So, it's just like going to play poker. You deal the cards that you're dealt. So, but we had a good time. It was an awesome time. And this is going to put me down probably till the end of the year. And so maybe next year everything kind of straightens out and we'll load up and we'll head up northwest, way northwest. So until then, thanks for watching, however many out there. I know there ain't many. But I'll be coming out with some videos every week of the treatment as it progresses. And until we get to going anywhere again, there's not going to be many camping videos, I can tell you that. So anyway, thanks for watching, and here's the last few videos that I had in that. So again, thanks a lot, and we'll see you later. Good Thursday, excuse me, Thursday morning. It's 9:10. Oh, I drove about 10 hours yesterday. I am not used to doing it. In my younger days, I used to do that with no problem. It seemed that, I don't know, I mapped it out, our trip, our way home, yesterday, day before, whatever, and it just seemed like it was way out the way yesterday when we was doing it. I took out of where was we even at? Mass. We went down through Rhode Island and into Connecticut and hit Interstate 84, which at the time was north of Hartford, and then it goes right through Hartford and then kind of cuts west, goes into New York, and that's where I thought we hit Interstate 81 that went down to where we are now, Appalachians and stuff like that. Well, we kept riding and riding and riding. I'm thinking, man, we stopped at a rest area, and I got the book out, this atlas. I'm thinking, there's no way this is, but it is right. I guess I didn't think about it on the overall big picture of in the atlas, the whole U.S. It didn't look like it was that far. Well, I don't know how many miles we put on, probably close to 500, but we went a long way. Comes out to where 84 hits Interstate 81 in Scranton, and then 81 goes southwest, really, all the way down through Pennsylvania, which we went right past where we was in the Poconos, where we stayed at Thousand Trails. We went right past Hershey, where we stayed, and then we got down. I'm thinking, okay, well, we got into Maryland. I'm thinking, Maryland? I thought we got into Virginia. Then we got into West Virginia for a little while. But we are in Virginia now. I got tired last night. I don't know what time it was, 7:30, and I wanted to get into Virginia. So that's where we are. We are in Winchester, Virginia, not far inside the state, and I had to quit after 10 hours. So we're at, of all places, you can see over there, a Cracker Barrel. So I haven't done that in a long time, and the reason why I'm sitting inside is because all day yesterday, and it just now picked up, the wind is 30 plus. I mean, it was just a handful to keep the truck going in a straight direction. And now it's supposed to be like this today. So I come out to fire the truck up. Gail's, like I say, it's 9:15 almost. Gail's getting stuff together inside. It takes us some time because in the morning I walk Cody about 7:30 or so. And he gets a pill he's got a heart condition, but he can't eat for an hour until after that he has that pill. So it always puts us into about the 9 o'clock hour. So that's what takes us so long to get going. But so here we are, and I'm getting ready to go. And Gail was saying, "Well, how close are we to Shenandoah National Park?" And I thought, I don't know. And so I kind of looked at the map, and then I Googled it, and we're only 25 miles from where I was wanting to go in anyway. So I've been, if I did 10 hours yesterday and got us this far, and I'm kind of ciphering on the map and our route, if I do another 10 hours today, that would put us around Savannah maybe. And then we'd be home in 3 or 4 hours. So is what we're going to do, we're going to go to Shenandoah. I don't know if we're going to see the whole park, but we're going to see some of it. And instead of getting home Friday at noon, 1, 2. Okay, so we get home at 7 or 8 at night. Does it matter? Nope, don't matter. That way it gives me Saturday, which they're calling for rain, and Sunday, which is going to start. I got to get that greenhouse going and all kinds of stuff. So maybe I'll get video of that later. But so that's what we're going to do. This is one of the parks we want to see. Smoky Mountains, that's just out. We can't do that. But so that's what we're going to do. And I got to get some fuel. And we're going to go through the park and then come out the other side and start motoring again. So Cody's dying back there. I feel bad for him because, you know, we can't stop very often, but poor little guy's used to been running and taking his time, and now he's just been sitting in the back seat all this time. So, oh well. We'll be home in a couple days, and then he'll have the whole yard to run into. So, all right, well, let me get stuff going, and as we get to the park, I'll turn this back on and let you look around. So we'll catch you later. Oh, let me keep this out of the sun. We are in, luckily, Shenandoah National Park. I came in and got a picture at the sign up front. I have to keep this low because the sun's behind me. But then we came. Hey, come on, Clay. Yep. Now, this darn dog. I think it would help me out here. We came in the front gate, and there's 3 lanes, but only the left lane was open, and they have a metal arch. Well, the clearance was 1210. Well, I can't do that. I seen that, and I had to back up some because of all the cones and the lanes and stuff. As I was backing up, some guy pulled right behind me, and I damn near hit him. So the guy come out. Luckily, there was somebody at the gate. He come out and had to move all the cones and everything, and I went through the middle, which was taller. But I got through that, and what a debacle. He had to move everything out of the way for me because it was too wide. Everything's set up for a Prius, you know, nowadays. So anyway, here we are at an overlook. Oh, and this is one of the, it's a valley down in here. Pretty neat. The colors, we didn't know if the colors would still be here some or not, but I guess not. But anyway, the guy told me, I got through that. He said, but there is a bridge that's 12 something part way through that I can't get through. So we can go for about 30 miles and we got to get out. There's a way to get out of here. So that's what we're going to have to do. So at least we've been here. There's another visitor center down here somewhere that we're going to go try and see. So if we see something, well, I'll turn this back on for you. And we'll talk to you later. Here's a map of the place. We came in up here, and I guess we can drive all this way. There's another visitor center here, and I think that's as far as we can go. Maybe there's one over here somewhere. It's 30 miles, he said, and then we got to get out. So obviously somewhere in there. Let's see. Here's a tunnel. So obviously right in here somewhere we got to get out. So maybe that's an entrance station there. So I don't know. So, but anyway, we got to do that. But there's another visitor center. You probably can't see them. There's 3 military Ospreys that went over. I've never seen them flying before. Anyway, this is one of the overlooks. We just stopped back at the visitor center that's closed because they're rebuilding it or something. There's a river going down through the middle of that. Really good look over here. You can see the rows, the hills. I don't know why this camera keeps cutting out on me. It just ticks me off. It's a pretty nice overlook. The colors are gone. I thought maybe we'd be able to see a little bit more of them, but I guess not. That's okay. We've seen lots of colors on our trip. Pretty neat though. So we'll see how far we can get without getting kicked out because of our height. So I'll talk to you later. Now there's a lot of mountains out this side. You can see way over that way, but kind of hazy today. Gail was saying something about there ain't, you know, when we was on Natchez Trace, there was a lot of history battle stuff, but not so much here. Well, I don't think these people could get over these mountains. Everything was further east. You can't get no cannons and horses and stuff up and down these things, so it's okay. I mean, the colors were late, which we kind of knew that, but I was thinking maybe like we got in the Smoky Mountains, it might be better. So anyway, we'll keep riding. We're gonna get off here pretty soon because we can't get under the tunnel. So we'll see you later. Gail out there taking pictures. Anyway, my buddy back here making noise. See ya. Well, I just wanted to cut back in. Them videos you just seen of Shenandoah, there's not much there. Some overlooks and stuff. Actually, I thought I had more video, and I looked through all my cards, through my GoPros, and that was the end of it. So it kind of ended abruptly, but just that day we didn't go much further from where that last outlook was, or overlook, and we had to exit the park. And actually, I don't know what it was, early afternoon, 2 o'clock or something like that. So I ended up driving till like 7 or 8 that night. We was just north side of Charlotte, and we stayed at a Cracker Barrel. Nothing, you know, it's nothing to look at, nothing, but I mean, we had so many other places planned, but you know, you have to do what you have to do sometimes. But so the next day, which was Friday morning, I think we got up and we ate at Cracker Barrel. Or well, I ordered it and I went in and got it, and I think we pulled out of there 8:30 or so, and then from Charlotte all the way to our house, it was 7 or 8 o'clock by the time we got home that night. So I didn't, we just unloaded stuff out of the camper, food mainly, anything refrigerator wise. The rest of the stuff I left in there. And Saturday, I left it in the driveway so that way Gail can empty some of the stuff out while I was starting with the greenhouse. So, but yeah, we got the greenhouse up, and during the week I ended up backing the camper into the shop and offloading it, and that's where it's been sitting ever since. So I don't know. We'll see what happens in the next 3, 4, 6 months. I don't know. So, but one thing I wanted to say, you know, to go with what I'm dealing with was with the HPV. Research it. You can find it all over the internet. If you have kids, grandkids, anywhere from 9 years old to 45. There's a vaccination for it. It's been out for 20 years with this vaccination. It's 100% preventable. 100%. They showed, there's a study in England after I think it was 10 years, to where the women's cervical cancer dropped to 0. The men, they don't have the numbers on, mainly because it stays in the guy's system for so long. It could be I could have had it 3, 4 decades in me. No rhyme, no reason. Sometimes it comes out, about 1% comes out. So yeah, I'm part of the 1%ers. But there's no tests for it to see if you have it. There's nothing. So check on the vaccine. It's not like a COVID vaccine. rated right along with like polio, measles, kids type, like not kids, but teens. I would suggest so wholeheartedly on it. If you could, I mean, right now I'm not too bad. I'm starting my 3rd week of the radiation and stuff, but next week's going to be a big difference. By the end of this week's going to be huge. So, I mean, I can feel the difference already. So please, please, please check on this, research it. A vaccine it's worth a vaccine to keep people from going through this. So again, sorry for the abrupt end on the videos. Like I say, this whole trip that was great the whole time. It's just we had to get home, and sometimes that don't make for good videos. So, but anyway, thanks for watching. Please research that. And my next videos will be coming up, like I say, of all the different weeks of me going through this. I'm going to try and do it as long as I can. Some people have to stop because it's just not feasible. So I'm going to try it as long as I can. So maybe next year, early part of next year, we'll turn this back on and we'll get back onto some camping locally and then move on from there. So thanks for watching, for all of you 10 people, I always say. And safe travels out there. Maybe next year we'll see you in Alaska. So thanks for watching. Be safe. Check on that vaccine. Thanks. Bye.